Hey friends, happy Monday. It's your boy DJ Pharaoh. Welcome back to the channel. And unfortunately, I had this video intended to come out yesterday, but I had to work longer than originally scheduled. However, signed, sealed, and delivered here as promised, your 2024 Royal Rumble review. So we already know the results. We'll just breeze through this. It was a 4-match card, by the way, a short match card, but a 4-hour pay-per-view nonetheless. I mean, the Rumble matches, you know, they typically go an hour, sometimes longer. And then we had 2 championship matches represented by 2 part-time champions from Friday Night SmackDown that are, say it with me now, hashtag and still part-time champions from Friday Night SmackDown, Roman Reigns and Logan Paul. Now, the road to WrestleMania, it looks a little bit more clear on some matches, at least the bigger matches, the world title matches for the men and the women, respectively, that we're going to get. Logan Paul, I have an idea of who his WrestleMania opponent will be. I'll go ahead and tell you that right now. It will not be a rematch with Kevin Owens. It'll be LA Knight. And LA Knight will take the United States Championship from Logan Paul. Let me know down in the comments, would you like to see that match? And I'll give it up to Logan Paul. I'll give dude his flowers. He's done well in these WWE matches. He hasn't embarrassed himself. He hasn't disappointed. I'm not the guy's biggest fan personally, but I'll acknowledge the fact that he's done okay in WWE. I mean, this is an atmosphere that suits him. We had Roman Reigns retaining the titles, predictably, of course, and you know, I just mentioned LA Knight. Now I wonder what do we have for AJ Styles? What do we have for Randy Orton in store at WrestleMania? We had the Rumble matches. This year, I'm going to give the ladies their flowers. I enjoyed the ladies' Rumble match more than I did the men's. And last year was the opposite. I enjoyed the men's Rumble match just a little bit more than I did the women's. But this year, I enjoyed the women's match. They had better surprises. They had better surprise entrants. Again, I think the result of both Rumble matches were perfectly fine because I think we're going to get 2 excellent championship matches at WrestleMania out of it, which is what matters. We'll talk about the women's one again. Bayley wins the Women's Royal Rumble, but an eventful Women's Royal Rumble. We saw the return of Liv Morgan from injury. We saw the return of Naomi, who had a stint in TNA, a successful stint at that. Speaking of TNA, we saw the reigning TNA Knockouts World Champion Jordynne Grace, who I can definitely see in WWE once her TNA contract expires. She would be a phenomenal addition to that women's roster. She showed up and showed out with what time she had in the Rumble match. So definitely got to give her just due and her credit. Speaking of another lady that showed out, or showed up actually, Jade Cargill made her debut finally at the Royal Rumble. I definitely could have saw that coming because Nia Jax was so dominant in the Women's Rumble match, dumping out ladies left and right. And I was like, okay, well, who's going to counteract that? Who's powerful enough to counteract that? I was like, well, Rhea Ripley's not in the Rumble. Jade Cargill, and what a perfect place to debut her in front of 48,000 on one of the more major pay-per-views of the year. Second or third, depending on how you feel about SummerSlam. I mean, obviously WrestleMania is the big one. It's the Super Bowl. It's the Daytona 500 of WWE. It's the big one. And the Men's Rumble, again, it was fine. But it was just fine until we got to the final 6. We got to the final 6. I mean, the final 7 was until Ricochet got eliminated. I was like, okay, here's the real stars. And I feel so bad for saying that, but he hadn't been booked like a star. Sorry. Sorry to hurt the feelings of any Ricochet fans out there. Maybe if you guys made some more noise for him at the shows. But once he got dumped out, there was the real stars, and we got left down to the final 3, Cody, Gunther, and CM Punk. I was rooting for Cody. When we got to the final 2, Gunther, though, didn't come in as early as he did last year, but had well over 20 minutes as opposed to the, 73 minutes that he had last year, a record. Gunther eliminated again. History repeats itself from last year. Gunther eliminated by Cody Rhodes. Cody eventually gets the elimination on CM Punk. Those two had a little mini match at the end of the Rumble that I enjoyed. Would love to see them one-on-one later on down the line in the future. Maybe once Cody gets the belt, Punk can go heel. And, you know, I'm just fantasy booking at this point. Let me know if that's the match you would like to see. It looks like they've been teasing it. There were reports that it was Cody's plans for Mania was scrapped, and again, this is why you can't believe everything you read online. I'm just an opinion guy. I'm not going out here telling you I got sources within the company that say no. It's just an opinion piece, but all those reports that said Cody wasn't main eventing WrestleMania didn't turn out to be true. But anyways, guys, I'm going to let y'all go. This is my 2024 Royal Rumble review. I appreciate you guys for sticking around to the end of this video. If you enjoyed, you already know what to do. Drop an elbow on that like button and hit that subscribe if you haven't, if you're new and you enjoyed today's content. Until then, guys, I will check you out on Thursdays now here on the channel. I am doing Impact Wrestling reviews. I am trying to do them live. I attempted to do a live stream last week, and unfortunately, it cut out. So, if it's not an internet connection problem this week, I'm going to do it again, and I hope to check you guys there.